would like to know what's your kind of music.
I had a lot of Himesh Reshamya though at that time because
I'm a big East Coast guy. Just imagine Anand singing Tu Hi Re for Garima.
Yeah, I've actually sung enough and more songs for Garima.
See, there you go. The rest is history. The song is called Ishq Rang.
Hi everyone, this is Anand again. Welcome to episode 4 of RNF Podcast. This is the episode where we talk about music, and very aptly so, we are calling it Tuning In. With me today on the panel, we have Krishna, Dheeraj, Ayush, and Pranit. I just generally would like to know what's your kind of music.
personally for me, I feel from Beethoven to Eminem to thrash metal, I think I probably listen to everything. If someone from the outside would listen to my Shah playlist, they would just go, "This guy is totally mental."
Somebody at Spotify is going that
Yeah.
right now, right?
My music taste ranges from here to here. It's everything in between. It really depends on my mood. One moment I'd be listening to. If I'm sad, I'll probably listen to like country music or something like that. If I'm happy, I'm on like Eminem is rapping through his vocal cords. There's Linkin Park. We grew up in the era of Linkin Park, Pink Floyd, all these crazy bands. So I think that is because why we have the taste of such extreme spectrums.
We also grew up in the era of cassettes,
Yeah.
mixtape,
Yeah.
right? So
Imagine rewinding it like.
did you guys ever mix your own tapes like that two-sided recorder, the tape recorder, and you'd get
Life was not that much of luxury back then, but I did manage to get few tapes from here and there.
yeah.
I had a lot of Himesh Reshamya though at that time because
Yeah.
it was
Himesh Reshamya.
it was a wave back then. But I tried fetching few others back when I was in high school.
Yeah,
We used to
there's-
give cassettes to our crushes in school. That's
Oh, yeah.
how,
Mixtape.
yeah,
Oh, so
mixtapes.
that's your
Got
first
into that.
connection with music.
Yeah,
Whoever
definitely.
that mystery girl is, thank you for introducing Ayush to a variety of music. We owe it to you. Dheeraj, what's your
Mine
kind
is
of
again
music?
very similar to theirs as well, in the sense that it's so wide. I had a phase which was really hip hop, and that would be
What phase of hip hop is this? Like, name some artists.
artists who were there even before I was born in the 80s, 90s. Notorious, Big is. I'm a big East Coast guy. So Notorious, Park, Snoop. Rapping was more to be that sort of a street guy and be the lone wolf and that sort of a thing.
Even if you
You're the
It
gully, you're
helped my
the
singularity.
gully boy of South Bombay.
Yeah,
Krishna,
so-
what's your music?
But my preference is like music over lyrics. Lyrics makes you feel what they say, and music leaves you open-ended, so you can feel whatever you want to feel. Hari Shukmani also is one of my favorite.
They are
That's
white.
my
I'm
kind of
happy to hear a Indian band's name first.
So,
Okay.
what's that one song though? If you're say on Marine Drive and you're by yourself, and you can just play that on repeat, right? Or maybe
I
the
think
first song.
Dheeraj and I have a very
We
common.
we just connected while
Over
you
the song,
asked
yeah.
this. So it's an interesting story. So for me, music connects people, and I really believe that. We were just jamming on a song, and I asked everybody, "Hey, have you heard this song called Sleep on the Floor by Lumineers?" And for some reason, Praneeth is just standing there and doing this, and I have no idea why he's doing that. And then I realized he has the tattoo of the name of the song in his hand, and that's how we connected.
Damn.
Yeah, and I think that's the song for me.
All-time favorite song.
That's the
All-time
song
favorite
for
band.
him.
Lumineers, by the way.
Yeah.
So this is part of an album called Ballad of Cleopatra, right? There are 3 songs. And I think a couple of years later, they made this whole documentary where they stitched together all 3 music videos. And you watch it, it's a lifespan of a person from being a young, beautiful lady to growing old, and then her whole love story about it. Which, when I realized, I think I came and told him, and we watched it together. It's just so beautifully put.
It's a very emotional album for sure. It's very beautiful.
There's a song by Linkin Park. It's called The Messenger. It has a very it's an acoustic song, but then it has very strong vocals by the beloved Chester.
Rest in
And
peace.
yeah, and I think every time I listen to that song, it just gives me goosebumps.
Krishna, what's your one go-to song?
It won't be again a song. It won't. It will be most likely be a music. It could be a classical by Anushka. It's one of my favorite. So the music, the sitar, the Indian instruments that come together, it's very wholesome when I listen to it. So probably some of Anushka's music.
I think
I
when you
love
look
that.
at Krishna,
Yeah.
I
right?
was just going to say this.
When you look at Krishna, it already gives that vibe. He's not going to
Yeah.
go for anything that's very aggressive. It's just going to be
It
very
brings
calm.
out his personality in
And
his
yeah,
music.
just reflects your personality
Very interesting.
altogether.
Very interesting choice. I mean, listening to an Anushka on your free time, that just shows, the kind of person you are. And absolutely, you bring that peaceful sitar vibes, 100%.
I'd love to know yours, Anand.
Yeah.
My one song. Oh, it's
One
so-
song and your favorite bands. You come from a different eras.
I grew up to the indie music scene in 90s, right? And that's all that played on the TVs back then. So
Mm.
your Made in India. I mean,
Yeah, I would
you,
be-
you wouldn't care
Yeah,
if you're a teenage boy. You're
For
just
sure.
saying Made in India because it felt
For
so
sure.
cool, right? But once I entered college and the hostel life, it was a complete switch to metal and
Wow.
just hook, line, and
Wow.
sinker into metal. So Metallica or Floyd,
Hmm.
and then as the years progressed, the music era, the decades kept going back, right? So
True.
we'd go back, like, then there's Pearl Jam happening, and there's
Interesting how the more you get matured, the more
Yeah.
you go from 80s to 70s to 60s music, and then you're like, you're born in the wrong era only.
yeah, every time you listen to a different era, I felt like, oh my God, this was the era to be in. And then of course love happened. I found my now wife. We were dating back then, and then it switched to like it was long distance, so it was Hari Haran and Nahi Samne.
Kya
Yeah,
baat.
like,
Just imagine Anand singing Tu Hi Re for Garima.
yeah. I've actually sung enough and more songs for Garima.
See, there you
because,
go.
I've not heard you sing though.
I will.
We
I will
actually
feel-
You don't wish to?
went to this Diwali party at your place when you were
Yeah,
singing.
he sings well, yeah. And he sang
He
for her, by the
dedicated,
way.
yeah, he dedicated that song for me.
Yeah. Music and films, right? If I was to sort of plug back to the kind of work that we do, we make wedding films. I'd say 70% of our films are, in terms of runtime, they have some sort of a background score going on. When you guys think of our films and music, what's your approach? Is it very premeditated that I just shot this haldi and I know what I'm going to put in it? Or do you come back, um, you know, do you ask the couple? Do you just take a call yourself? How does the process of
It goes-
music in RNF happen?
Goes back, way back in time. I think we've done it in a couple of meetings recently.
Mhm.
Just playing a playlist in the background and having a conversation. Then it feels like you're sitting in a cafe and just having a nice conversation,
Yeah.
chilling with them. And sometimes when we go on couple shoots as well, we make like a playlist. We just play while they're chilling and they're like being romantic and everything. And we hit with that one song, and then after that it's simple. You know which song you're gonna vibe with.
The overall idea is to make it more relatable to the couple. And when it comes to creativity, of course, we do like to add the music that we love. Like he has a long-term this thing wish that he wants to shoot a couple shoot on sleep on the
Yeah,
floor.
of course.
We just on a constant hunt for such projects. Definitely.
Because I think with music it has to hit.
Yeah, it definitely
You
has. to.
cannot just use any kind of music with anything. The longest process in terms of, I think, the whole package that we make is music, what takes the longest. Unless you find that perfect fit, your film is not gonna look the way you envisioned it.
True.
Krishna, do you approach it differently? Is music, when you're approaching a couple, and even say filming hasn't begun, are you very fixed on the kind of music because you've got to read? Are they dictating the music that they want, or is it something in between?
Like we shoot weddings, and weddings is all about humans. Human is all about emotion. So what they feel is very important. So the emotion that we want to evoke is very much dependent on the music that we use, the background score. I do listen to a lot of music before going on shoot, just to feel something when that happens on the field. I could see, I could, pinpoint, ki, हाँ, I think we are going in this direction. So, and then we sit on the edit table, we get an idea, this was something that was happening, and they were emotional, they were happy, they were laughing, they were crying. So, emotions are very much dependent on the music, and music is very much dependent on this.
Three things. So Pranit is about the vibe check. Ayush said something about relatability. And then Krishna said something on the emotional front. Then what if there is a client that all three of you are working on? Would you then have a common point of approach that
So I think we could probably keep all the three in place and go one by one and see
classic ABC testing?
Yeah.
The engineer in the
all
house.
the PNCs will
have
do.
to choose.
And so we like to come to a common ground. Definitely, we all have our inputs, and we sort of try to mold it and try to fit in a single vase so that it comes out good. I think you would agree on this, that we actually have a very too much of to and fro when it comes to selecting music also.
Okay, so first thing, do you pick the song or do they come up with a song? What's the most common approach?
Ideally, because we're taking the creative flow ahead,
Yeah,
we try to approach our sense into it.
Right.
And then we present. Sometimes we do present it to them. It really depends on client to client. Sometimes we present the songs to them and then come back with an option, and then we figure it out.
then what happens in a case where your and the client's creative vision on the choice of music is different? So if the client wants Tupac and you are at Himesh Reshmiya, right? Who wins?
It's about that communication we need to have with them and tell them that maybe not this, something on the same lines, and then we give them options and then figure out and find a middle ground usually.
Nothing stops
This-
us from making our own edit.
Making our
Okay.
own edit.
Yeah.
That's true. The more conviction we have, we tend to definitely convince the clients as well. We did convince the client that okay, let's go for this song, where they were not very confident about it, but eventually it worked out well. So I think the more conviction we have, the more confidence we have in the kind of edits we're going to make out for them, also really matters. So
Sometimes wacky ideas, like I remember when I had just joined about 8, 9 years ago, you had made a Haldi edit on shipping up to Boston, right? And
wow.
if you tell somebody, okay, this is the song I'm going to choose for your Haldi, it's almost impossible for somebody to imagine
Yeah, true.
shipping up to Boston में कैसे हल्दी बनाओगे. But you definitely love it. You're sure of it. Just work on it, and if it's great, show them. And if it's really great, they're gonna love it.
Now, how many times, Krishna, do you end up, because what Dheeraj said, right? Karke dikhao, but what if they don't like it? Does that happen? And two, if that happens, how much of a process is it to change the song? Like how much of a toll does it take on an editor to do that?
And being a creative, I would be crying in the corner. But
Maybe on
song
your
change kar do.
keyboard, right? While you work on the editing software, you're crying and changing the song.
100%. I
But
mean,
why? I would assume, as most people assume, just laga do, right? Like this, change this song, like put B instead of A, no?
I mean, when we change the music, it changes the soul of the video. It's very important to communicate with the client. And recently it happened, like we played a song on the very first day of the couple shoot, and they were really happy with the song. And second day, third day, they were listening to the song and jamming on that. And I think by the end of the trip, they already were looking
I
forward to
would
the
have
first.
never put Krishna to be the dictator he's turning out to be. I
Right.
think I agree that because we are in the business of this and we do it day in and day out, somewhere our intuition starts to build really strong. That this is the track that will go with such kind of footage. Yeah.
But I had one question, like since you were married way back, just wanted to know what would have been your choice of music if it was your wedding trailer, like
Today?
yeah, today.
You'd be surprised because it's a two-part answer. One, I have not seen more than a minute of my entire wedding video
Why?
because that minute was emotionally stressful enough. I watched the first minute and there were four of me circling Garma. So it was a little bit of Doctor Strange ka animation going on. In my wedding pictures by then, and they were beautiful. So if anyone wants to take up a fun summer project, I have my wedding video available. I have not watched more than a single minute of it. Let me remember the song that started my wedding film. A part of me wants to say it was Dule Ka Sehra Sona Lagta Hai. But it was somewhere around, it wasn't too far from that.
Dule ka four places like
Yep, yep. It's that was me entering one of the pujas.
watching sessions. We watch different movies or our trailers. I think we should definitely sit and watch.
Yeah. If I'm paid well enough, I will let you watch my wedding video. 100%.
But I find it very interesting. You heard this story of a person getting wrongly convicted, then becoming a lawyer to fight his own case. That's Anand.
I think, I entered
his
the
whole
career
wedding
out
film
of
was so bad. He was like, justice for everybody else. I'm
justice
gonna
for wedding
company.
films.
Justice for wedding films. I'm gonna make it right.
Yes, but if I was to take your wedding trailer as a summer project, I would definitely do it on Himesh Reshammiya's song.
Yeah,
Works.
and
It's not getting better for you, is it?
and then I will push you off Marine Drive when you're sitting and listening to whatever song you said you. I also want to touch upon the the intuition piece a little bit. Won't it be just easier to maintain a list of haldi tracks? And I see these Instagram reels going around saying top 5 haldi songs for wedding films 2024. Just, make that list and just start picking off it. I mean, to
We
madness.
actually do have a whole bank. We call it the audio bank, where we've listed out music according to different events, different vibe, different mood, different theme, different tempo. All of these things all together put together.
Does it
Anyone
even
can just-
work?
Come see, come sir. It's like sometimes it might hit because like we discussed, right? Every film, every piece of visuals going out is different than other. So even if you've jotted down 5 songs for Haldi, might not always, or even if it's 100 songs, might not always go with the one that has happened, like that you've shot and come. Might have a different vision. The visuals are different. The whole fun meter of that would be different. But it is a good starting point. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it might not work.
Maybe a starting point.
Maybe
but
a starting point. I think
definitely not the
definitely
end.
is a starting point,
Yeah.
but not the end point for sure.
Have you guys noticed this on Reels? All the trending songs that we listen to are usually the 10-15 seconds are the hook of the song
Yeah.
is the interesting part, but when you go and listen to the whole song, it's usually meh. I mean,
Yeah, it's like that box
That's
of
true.
cherries that you get sold at the fruit market. The
Yeah,
top
true,
one
right.
is really nice, and by the time you reach to the bottom, it's all rotten. But now there is AI that can synthetically generate songs. Did you know about this?
Yes.
You can actually prompt from everything, from the lyrics to the kind of instruments that should be played in the song, kind of tempo, and it will generate a fully baked song for you.
I think you can replicate musicians as well now. I think
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
that's big,
KK
yeah.
rendition after
Yeah,
Pastor.
I mean the voice
That's big,
cloning
yeah.
tech is
Voice
out
cloning,
there. There is a sound isolation tech, so you feed in a song and it'll remove certain parts of the song, like the drums maybe. But I mean, the fact that now songs can be synthetically generated, and this is first gen. Maybe the day is not far where custom song
True.
will have a very different meaning to it,
Hmm.
which makes me want to talk about some of the songs that we've made from scratch. One that comes to mind is Ishq Rang.
There is a very interesting story where we did a wedding. The groom was from Delhi and the bride was from Morocco. So the cross culture and all of that, and they met in London. And the bride had a request. They wanted something personal, something that they can relate to when they listen to the music. And that's when Dheeraj came into the picture. And yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe
man.
Dheeraj is always in the picture.
No, my eyes lit up
too.
that moment because for me, for me it was life in a circle. I used to manage a few music bands right before I joined Reels and Frames a decade ago. It was interesting in the sense that I was not a part of the wedding, so it was very important for us to get to know them because it was a complete customized song. We had a few ideas in the sense that would get some Moroccan instruments in because she's from Morocco. We got onto a call with her. We realized that she doesn't want any Moroccan influences. She wants it pure classical,
Indian.
something bittersweet, something Indian, Hindi, and something that could be used for like an entry, like much slower in that sense. So yeah, we've started curating singers and artists and music composers. Honestly, we at least spoke to about 25, 30, 35 people. And so the guy who composed the music, his name is Anurag Dhondial. Shout out to him, great guy. Got on a call with him. We gave him the brief. We gave him the exact pointers. So he came up with a scratch, but we sort of had hit a roadblock. The lyrics is something we translated in English and explained to her what it means. She sent us another scratch and we loved it. When the crescendo is hitting, when the bride's meeting the groom, when the Varmala is happening, the flower shower is happening, fireworks, you want it so loud, you wanted everything coming in. We thought this is how it is. We sent her, she loved it. And yeah, the rest is history. It just plays in my mind. The song is called Ishq Rang. A lot of our brides and other brides, I have friends who sent me the song on WhatsApp saying, hey, you know, this person in this wedding that I was attending has entered with the song.
If I was a bride, I would
It's a-
definitely enter on it, guys.
Or you can ask your bride to
To
enter on it.
enter.
This whole process of making a song, just out of curiosity, how long does it take?
So it's such a thing that if it clicks,
Yeah.
right? Time you can't put a number to it, but on an average, I think about a month to 45 days is a good time to come up with an idea and a good scratch that can go ahead, and then song building can happen in the next 3 weeks once you
And you
finalize things.
show the music composer the footage from the wedding before
Yes.
he started.
He wanted to feed Anurag with as much information as he wants, so that he ensures to make it customized itself. So
The control is totally in your hands. We can customize the music, the instrument, the vocals, everything is in your control.
so the song actually sounds different as it is, and the song sounds very different in the trailer itself. Because in the trailer, all the stems are used differently, the pickups are different because there are points where the interviews come in play and all of that, right? So the song is differently placed in the trailer and it's different in Spotify as well. So they are two different things, but it's a great
Spotify, by the way.
They're on Spotify,
Luck.
yeah. But
All right, so last section of the show is called Guess My Vibe. Play a piece of music and let the others guess the artist.
This episode is not getting monetized for sure.
है ना? This is
test it, it's Anushka Shankar.
yeah,
So much.
This straight up in the face.
Song?
Queen, all right.
Awesome, nice song, good start.
good,
Yeah,
good
we
song.
love Bohemian Rhapsody, we
Good
love
start.
Queen, we love Freddie.
This might be like it's a curveball, right? It
Real
might be
song, yeah.
super tough, but I'll keep dropping hints.
I lose.
Movie that's based in ancient Rome, right? How many movies from ancient Rome? Very famous movie.
Gladiator.
It's the Gladiator theme song.
You have to say
It's called
that.
Now We Are Free. It's composed by Hans Zimmer.
Wow.
Eh, no peeking fire.
I don't know it, but I
John
would groove
Legend
to
by
it.
any chance?
Dream of ways to throw it all away.
No, it's not. But you're.
John
close.
Mayer?
No. Yeah.
John
that's-
Mayer.
Yeah, that's John Mayer.
I got the
It's,
John right.
You got this on right. 0.5, we'll share it.
Gravity by John Mayer.
Oh, interesting.
A new song on my list. I love it.
The minute you let her under your skin.
Beatles.
Song name? Because it's very
Hey
hard
Jude.
to.
Hey Jude.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
DJ.
one of my
Very easy for
all-time
us.
favorites.
That's all right. We're not peeking.
You want us to guess it right now? Come on.
The Ishq Rang.
Marketing on
You
point.
guys have to sing it along, guys.
By Dheeraj Sachdev.
There are at least some lines that you should know to sing, okay?
इश्क मिला मुझे इश्क मिला किस्मत से मिला मुझे इश्क मिला तू ही मेरी दुआ जो कबूल हुआ वो गाने किस्मत से मिला
I can't sing.
Yeah, I got 2 lines right.
Everybody can sing it.
रंग लगा मोहे रंग रंग तेरे इश्क रंग या रंग 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 लगा मोहे रंग रंग तेरे इश्क दल गया रंग 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 लगा मोहे रंग रंग तेरे इश्क दल गया रंग लगा मोहे रंग रंग तेरे इश्क दल गया
This is Anand tuning out from today's podcast that was called Tuning In. Hope you enjoyed it. Join us for more right here at RNF.
Play Ishq Rang on Spotify.
Stream everywhere. Is it art or brain fart?
We had a title for this episode, right? And we were not completely happy with it. So we used ChatGPT to figure out.
ये by the way नहीं बोल रहा था.
Sorry, the title is mine. You can check my chat GPT. Is creativity clear cut for you?
आई थिंक क्रिएटिविटी तब होती है जब इमोशंस टच होते हैं सामने वाले को.
जहांगीर आर्ट गैलरी में एक बार गया था तो मैं देख रहा हूँ यार बगल वाली जो पेंटिंग लगी है उस पे कुछ लोग यार वो पेंटिंग देख के इतना डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं.
घोड़ा घास खा रहा है वाला मिस तक. MF हुसैन शायद किसी पॉइंट पे अपनी लाइफ में बोल सकते थे, राइट? किया आज 1 साल तक घोड़े नहीं पेंट करे जाएंगे, क्रिएटिव ब्लॉक हो गया है.
तो मेरे हिसाब से तो कैमरा मैटर नहीं करता. मैटर वो करता है कि आप क्या देख रहे हैं, मैं अपनी आंखों से क्या देख.
So ये तो there's a quote, right? Necessity is the mother of invention. I think in Sonu's case, survival is the mother of invention. But we as wedding artists, we can't.
बोलते हैं ना पर्दे के पीछे के कलाकार वो हम हैं. तो हम दूसरों की लाइफ खूबसूरत दिखाते हैं बट हमारी ब्लैक एंड वाइट रह जाती है.